Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we have a very special guest. We have the Sofirn Sc33 with us today. So this is a light that I'm actually excited about. I've seen a lot of hate being sent towards this light, and I don't understand it because, I haven't used it for very long, but for the things that I've been using it for, it's been absolutely amazing. It's been a great light. I really like the beam. I like how bright it is. I really like the UI as well. And I'll explain the UI here in a little bit. So let's dive in and review this flashlight. Alright, so it claims 5200 lumens. 327 meters of throw. Maybe in a perfect world it would hit that, but you're closer to 4,000 lumens. The throw might be close to 327. Alright, so it comes with O-rings, a lanyard, USB-C charging cord, and your instructions. Alright, so the instructions are important because they'll teach you about this UI. And it's not a difficult UI. If you have any other Sofirn lights, then you'll pick it up real quick. So I just want to show it to you real quick. So it has an automatic lockout function. And what that means is if you do not turn your light on for a minute or more, it will lock out. To unlock it, you press it 2 times. And it's unlocked. Alright, so right now I have it in stepped mode. To step through the modes, you just hold the tail switch. Double click for turbo. And if you want to go to low, hold the tail switch. Okay? Let's say I'm in high, and I go to turbo, I single click, I go back to high. Hold it, go back down. So hold for low, click for your last mode that you were in. And it's the same thing with the ramping. So to change it to ramping, click it 4 times. It'll blink 3 times, let you know it's in smooth ramping. And you just hold it down, and it'll go up or it'll go down. So let's say I'm close to high, go to turbo, single click to go back to the setting I was at. Hold it to go back down to low, and then it'll start to ramp back up. Alright, from off to go into moon, you just hold the tail switch, and it has a really nice moon. It says, 10 lumens, and it's a real usable 10 lumens. And it'll run for 300 hours. Wow. Alright, so this is moon. Let me click back to stepped. Moon, low, it's 50 lumens. And that'll run for 45 hours. Oh, eco, this is low. Low, 300 lumens. It'll run for 11.5 hours. Medium, this is 750 lumens. It'll run for 5.3 hours. That's pretty impressive. Like that right there is a huge selling point. So 750 lumens with over 3,000 candela. So candela is the intensity of the light. Like if you look at an LEP, you'll see that they're only like between 300 and maybe 1,000 lumens, but their candela is like 2.5 million on the real high-end ones or higher. And what that means is the light is so intense. So it's 300 lumens all the way through the beam with an LEP that's a 300 lumen. So with a flashlight using an LED, the intensity does drop. But just the fact that I can use this much light with this much candela or intensity for 5.3 hours is really impressive. All right, you have high, double click, turbo, that is very bright. And then you triple click for strobe. So you have your tactical options always with you. So I like this because let's say I'm searching through a building, okay, and I'm on low. Let's say somebody spooks me or somebody's coming after me. I can blind them and then strobe them. So a couple other lights have better UIs for that. Like the next torch has a really, so it's automatic high and then long, like hard press for strobe. It's a little bit quicker and more intuitive, but it only has 3 levels plus a strobe. Whereas this has moonlight, ramping, and I really like those. All right, so now that I've shown you the UI, let's look at the LED. It's an XHP 70.3 HI, and I took my own measurements, and the CRI is 70. I was hoping, you know, that potentially we could get an 80 plus CRI LED, as they do make those, but they're very expensive. And the fact that this light is less than $40 and it has a boost driver plus a 70.3 high is incredible. I don't know how Sofirn and like Wurkkos do it, but they just put like really good components into solid flashlights and sell them for dirt cheap, and I freaking love them. And when people badmouth them, I defend them because they've been good to me. If I've had a problem, they address it right away. Their customer service is amazing. I know that it used to not be quite as good, but up until recently, it's really, really good. And they have some great people over there. All right, so the CRI is 70. The color temp was on the spectrum. I was a little bit higher, like closer to like 5,000 to 5,300 Kelvin. But it's a nice beam. So I've seen a lot of people compare it to the Wurkkos Ts22, and I don't know why, because it's really not that similar to this, as this is, you know, just a side switch. It's a great light. It's super thin. It puts out a lot of floodlight. Love the stainless steel bezel. And they do kind of have their similarities, but not really. So something that I saw that was really similar to this was my Aplos. You see the similarities? Like this, I love this new knurling. This is kind of like what they put on the Wurkkos TS30S Pro. And the Aplos has the good thick knurling, but they don't have the little indentations right here. But the bezels are almost identical. The head shape is super similar, and the body. Of course, the tail switch is different. It has an electronic tail switch, but I see a lot of similarities between the Aplos and, of course, the little brother, the Sc33. And this is a really cool light. If you guys have watched my channel, you know that I do a lot of modifications, and I put an SFT40 in this thing, and it's putting out close to 2,000 lumens. It is a tiny little beast, even with this little Fresnel lens, which I'm not a huge fan of, but luckily it works well with an SFT40. Who knew? One other thing, so I wanted to show you like the size for something like this tail switch. and like an aggressive tactical light. So I was thinking, only thing kind of close, this Phoenix is about the same size. And I put an SFT40 in this. This is the PD36R, and I scratched the crap out of this thing, modifying it, trying to get this head off. But the Phoenix is super thin. It's a little bit slippery compared to, I mean, this thing grips really well. This is not falling out of my hand. And as you know, I work on septic systems, so when I'm holding onto a flashlight, I'm holding onto it like my life depends on it. I'm not letting go of this thing. So I brought a couple lights to kind of show you, you know, how it is in size comparison. This is the Convoy M21B, an SFT40, of course. But versus other 21-700, well, I've seen people also say that it's kind of bulky. So versus other flashlights with 21-700 batteries, I think it's not too bulky. And I love this new clip. Holy crap. I don't know about you guys, but I freaking hate these clips. I mean, they're nice, but, and this is a light I might actually like attach to my hat, but I don't do that. I have some really good headlamps. So I really like this clip. I think it looks good. I like that they put 3 screws in there. It kind of reminds me of like a Spyderco knife, how they have the 3 screws, kind of like in the similar pattern of this. All right, so, I mean, just really solid. This thing is a very beefy light. It feels really sturdy. The tail switch is very responsive, very clicky. It's not mushy or anything like that. Yeah, it's different than the Sc33. I think it's better. The Sc33 and like the Wurkkos Ts10 kind of have a similar switch, but Sofirn's been improving this switch. And this is different, but I'm okay with it. It doesn't really bother me. Like so I usually keep these closed. I take my batteries out and put them on a dedicated charger. You know, if I'm in a situation where I do need to charge it, this isn't a big deal for me. I don't understand why you need your USB-C charging outlet by the head. So that doesn't really bother me. And honestly, I think it's kind of cool. Like, they're doing different things. Okay, so the indicator light, green means you're good. Green flashing means your battery's between 50 and 75%. Solid red is between 25 and 50%. And then flashing red is less than 25%. But that's a nice looking little light, in my opinion. I'm just really happy with this. And I know, so I usually carry, at work, I usually carry an 18650 in my pocket because of the size, of course. I usually carry an FC12, but I think I may put this in the rotation because it does throw pretty well, and it produces a lot of light. All right, so here's our boost driver with a gold-plated spring. Nice, thick threads with lots of grease. And these springs are very taut, so, I mean, they bent. So this battery, before I put it in, maybe it was bent, but I don't remember. So I think it bent it down, you know. This used to be raised up a little bit. but with how tight these springs are, I think it bent this down. Oh well. And it was putting out 3,600 lumens with this Wurkkos battery, is what I measured. And I was getting the same with the Wurkkos Ts22. So I thought that the XHP 70.3s were a little bit lower in lumens. But man, it's pumping out the juice. All right. So if we look in there, this down, oops. All right, we can see another gold-plated spring, and this is glued. So it looks like this little tail part could come off, you know, if I heated it up and used my ratchet straps. But I don't need to mess with it. If I do, then, you know, I can heat this up and take it off. But really solid construction. I can't say that enough, because this thing is a tough, thick, the aluminum is thick body. I mean, just real grippy. Just a really solid light. Good components. Sofirn makes, I think they make a great boost driver. Of course, I love the XHP 70.3. It produces a lot of light, so you get a lot of flood. I'm going to show you here soon. We'll take it out. I'll put the drone up in the air so we can get some beam shots. But yeah, let's go see how it looks outside. So here is the Sc33 and its beam shot glory. I have it in moon mode right now, 10 lumens. Very usable 10 lumens. All right. After moon, we have eco, medium, high, and then turbo. All right, so I'm also going to compare this to the Wurkkos Ts22. All right, so on the left is the Ts22. You can see it has a much bigger hotspot, whereas the Sc33 has a very defined hotspot. All right. So here's the Ts22. This is on high. And this is the Sc33. Put them on turbo. Sc33 throws quite a bit further. And it really does appear like it lights up the same amount of area, if not more, with that higher candela. All right, so here's moon, eco, low, medium, high, and turbo. All right, Sc33 on my right, Ts22 on my left. I'm going to put them both on turbo so you can kind of see them out like this. There we go. Ts22, Sc33, Ts22, Sc33. Both very floody beams, but Sc33 does have much better throw, and that's what I like. So if you're debating between the two, I would definitely recommend the Sc33, but you know, whatever makes you happy, whatever you want. If you want a side switch, go with the Ts22. If you want a tail switch and way more throw, get the Sc33. But yeah, I would definitely recommend the Sc33 over the Ts22. All right, we'll go back inside and wrap this up. All right, so as you can see, it is pretty impressive. That's a lot of light with like good throw, nice big hot spot. I mean, just a home run for Sofirn. Great job. I really like the direction that they're heading in, and I hope to see more lights like this. I mean, this feels really premium. Like when I grab this, it feels similar to like my Ace beams and my next torches. You know, my expensive lights. This is the quality it feels like. Granted, this is a much smaller light, but it just does feel kind of flimsy compared to something like this or this. One thing I'm not super happy about is I'm pretty sure this bezel is aluminum, and I really like how Ace Beam uses a stainless steel bezel. Alright, so I was just saying I really like a stainless steel bezel in case I need to use this in an attack way. I know that steel's going to hold up and not bend and chip and break the way aluminum will. But that's for next time. I know they can do it because look at the Ts22, stainless steel bezel. Anyways, this is an awesome flashlight. You really can't go wrong getting it. And I wasn't paid. I wasn't given this light. Like, I paid for this out of my own pocket, so this is a very candid review. Granted, all my reviews are candid, but you know, if somebody gives me a flashlight for free, I might be a little bit nicer. But I did pay for this, as I think it is a very high quality light. And I think it would be a good EDC for anyone. Good for camping, hiking. I use it when I take my dog for walks at night. You know, anything really, around the house. You get the point. So you guys stay bright, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new, please subscribe. And you guys have a wonderful day.